Okay. Hello, everyone. I think we did just have someone else join us. So, Molly, it looks like it's you. I've just asked everyone to mute, and we are going to get started with today's meeting and meditation. So, but welcome. I'm glad you made it.
Sorry, I'm late.
Oh, you're not late. We're just getting started. I mean,
okay, good.
2:44. I mean, what a perfect freaking start. Okay, so there we go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Kira, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, and yeah, I didn't mute you this time, Kira. So.
Oh, I'll keep mine muted when I'm not talking.
Okay, that's up to you. I mean, there's not a lot of background noise right now, so you don't really have to. Just, maybe when we start the meditation, you might want to. Okay, so we are going to start. Welcome, everyone. I'm really glad that everyone joined us here today. This is June 9th, 2019, just for future reference on this recording. And we are here today to participate in a group meditation in what I call being a part of a group collective conscious mind. And basically stated all that is, and this is a temporary group collective conscious mind, but it is intentional, okay, and consciously created by us coming together. And we know what we're here doing, and we are focused on, and I apologize for my squeaky chair. I'll try to sit still. So thank you for coming and participating in this. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone, or let those know who may not know about this, to continue their numeric message diary through June 21st. That's the day of the June solstice. And then when that time is up, so like no earlier than the 22nd, at least your 22nd, send me the 3 most frequently seen numeric messages that you received during those 18 days between June 4th and June 21st. The reason for doing this is that in the work with the Metatronic numerology that I do, I was led for the first time, and I find this very exciting, personally, to be honest, to ask others to participate in this way, because this is going to give us some more detailed information about, I can't give too much information here because I don't want to give away anything, okay, but it's going to give us some more detailed information that for use in assisting the collective consciousness's continued spiritual awakening journey. Okay, so we're just going to leave that there for now. Later on, after the 21st, I can explain a little more. And just know that if you haven't started doing that, it's not too late. You can go ahead and just start from this point and work through the 21st. Okay, Kira, is there anything that you want to mention right now before we go further?
Yeah, I think I would just say, if any of you are new to Essence's work, there's going to be a lot of information. And don't worry if you don't take it in a conscious manner. It's all about the frequencies anyway, and just kind of go with the flow. If your eyes start glazing over, it's okay. It'll still get in there some, so don't worry.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Kira. She, just for those who don't know, Kira and I have been spiritual working partners in this lifetime for a decade now. We have, not only in this lifetime, are we, her and I, a conscious and intentional group collective conscious mind, meaning we have created a conscious and intentional group collective conscious mind, but we have done this across time and space. So from my perspective here, we work well together. Okay, thank you, Kira. And she keeps me in line. And I try to keep her in line, but let me tell you, she's tough to keep in line.
Do you people want to see the marks on my back from this last week?
They're probably laughing, but we've asked them to mute because, okay, anyway.
Thank goodness.
In all seriousness, we're joking. Okay, so let's get started with today's work. Excuse me. And got my notes here so that I try to hit the high points. Kira, you know, like always, jump in when, you know, something needs to be better explained. Right, and for the attendees here in these moments that we're talking, if we mention something that you know truly have a question about, either depending on you know that moment, either make a note, ask it after the meditation, or just go ahead and unmute yourself and ask. So this is interactive. I don't want people to think that they can't interact. We just mute so that there's not a lot of background noise. Okay, so here we are. We're going to get started. This collective consciousness and its reality, we're coming into and experiencing the energies and effects of a major node point. Well, what do I mean by a node point? Simply stated, excuse me, I'm sorry, it's just the revisiting of things, issues, energies, okay, as we move up the spiral of growth and consciousness expansion. It's a lot of what we've done before, but much more intense and much more to it, if that makes sense. Kira, do you want to, is there a better way of saying that? Do you want to?
Well, you could look at it as like the little train track going up a circle, a spiral, and it's going to go across in a vertical way, a place where there's been a lot of emotions or you know, really intense times. It'll just kind of click over that again, and this is a way to look at that happening from a higher perspective. Did that make sense?
Yeah, it did to me, but I'm used to you. I'm joking.
So I don't know if that helped.
Thank you. No, thank you. And just to bring home, okay, how massive and important this node point in particular is, like where we currently sit, excuse me. This has a connection to approximately 60,000 years ago on this planet, and it's connected to the Magellanic magnetic field and the recalibrating and reactivating of this collective consciousness's matrix grid. Okay, and we get that in this time and place. That's what we were talking about, you know, kind of being silly about just before we started this meeting. We know, everyone knows we're here at a really important time frame on this planet each lifetime, but these are the points within our lifetime, our physical manifest lifetime. And so this just explains it a little better. Just to me, it just brings it home when you say, okay, because 60,000 years to a human individual lifetime is like, wow, okay, that's major. Okay. What's happening and what's going on right now? Okay. First, we have this Jupiter-Earth-Sun alignment. It actually goes direct, this alignment, tomorrow on the 10th. So what this alignment, you got to remember, Jupiter is the planet of expansion, and especially related to the expansion of consciousness, okay? So that's what Jupiter brings. And we all know what a massive sized planet, you know, in relation to our physical planet's reality is. Jupiter rules Sagittarius. So there's a strong focus on, I mean, it's not that there's not focus on anything outside of these things, but it's like the beam focus, okay, is on politics, religion, and spirituality. This alignment is creating and bringing to earth, it's bringing in frequencies. And I know I keep saying this word massive, and you'll probably hear me use it several times today, but it's because it's the best word to describe. It's like, it's massive, okay? So it's bringing in these massive amounts of energy to use for the expansion of consciousness, individually and collectively. So, you know, this is great, okay? But you've got to know how to work with these large amounts of energy. Okay, now, so that's one thing that's happening. We just came through, well, I say we just came through the direct point of it, a great galactic alignment. We're still basking in the energies of this great galactic alignment. And now this alignment was known as this great galactic alignment. It was from the heart, you can call it the heart chakra of our Milky Way galaxy, all right, through multiple other galaxies, including the heart chakra of the supercluster known Virgo, and then continuing all the way into the heart chakra of Laniakea. Laniakea, if you're not familiar with it, just Google it when we finish this. Laniakea is like, it's an individualized consciousness. It's actually, in cosmic terms, you could say it's a cell in the heart of our universe, okay, of our cosmos. But what it is a map, and it's been named Laniakea. And I am sorry, I cannot remember. I know it's a Hawaiian word, but I cannot remember exactly what it translates as. If someone knows that, they're please welcome to let us know. But Laniakea is like the most detailed map of our region, I guess you could say, of the universe in which we exist, okay? To date, at least that we have at this time. So we need to remember that all of this is connected. Oh, wait, we have to go back because that's just the second thing. I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself there. Kira, anything at this point before I add the others?
No.
Okay.
No.
The next thing I want to bring up is what I have been shown, because this was recently brought to my attention, and it came through a question posed by a Facebook friend known as Breezy Wanderer, and she asked about what white butterfly meant. Okay, long story short, not to get into all that detail, that brought it to my attention, which you know, that was how my guides, that is what and who they used to bring it to my attention. So white butterfly medicine, as it is known, and medicine is just currently a term, a word used to say energy or lessons, but in a more sacred manner, okay? So white butterfly medicine is about working with the 711 dual frequency. Now, the 711 dual frequencies I am keyword phrase is I am the truth of divine intelligence illumined through the spiritually awakened self. The 711 dual frequency with the white butterfly medicine is used to prepare individuals for taking on more responsibility for the creation of reality, their individual reality and the collective reality. I want to hang on just a second. Oh, and of course I shut it down on my computer, silly me. If you give me just a second, I can pull it back up. Just to give a little bit more information. The 711 frequency, I'll just tell you, okay. The 711 frequency is the frequency that I often compare to a Saturn return in your natal astrological chart. Because when you have a Saturn return, Saturn says, you are going to do this. You are going to face these things. You are going to grow. And obviously I'm being, very just straightforward and basic here. But that's what this 711 frequency is about. It is saying, it pushes people outside of their comfort zone in taking on more responsibility. Okay. And when we're talking about here and the work that we're doing here is not just for the self, but it's for the collective. All right. There's a direct connection with butterfly medicine to a node point from 2013 that is associated with the fuller understanding of the twin flame concept and the conception of multidimensionality into this collective consciousness's current reality. We're not going to go into detail about that right now. I simply want to give you that information and plant that seed. We may be led to learn more about that later. Okay, so there's three things. There's one more, because we have, just to recap, the Jupiter Earth Sun alignment. We have this great galactic alignment. We have white butterfly medicine. And the fourth thing that we're adding into this, like it's really, and these four things are all just, they're all connected. They're each just a piece of the puzzle about what is a bigger picture about what the energies that we're under the influence of right now, and about why those of us on this call today, and those who will listen and to this call in recording at a later time, because remember, all time is now, okay, are coming together consciously and intentionally, all right, now, to do this work. The fourth thing involved is an asteroid. It's what's known as a near-Earth asteroid or something like that. It's asteroid 2006 QV, Q as in Queen, V as in Victor, 89. Just so that you know, we'll be working with and under the influence of this asteroid's energies through at least the end of September into mid-October of this year. I've got here somewhere, it doesn't really, not overly necessary to know the orbital period of this asteroid, but anyway, okay, this asteroid is bringing, because you have to understand that asteroids are an individualized conscious being, okay, and they've got, just like we do, they've got sacred contractual work to do too. All right, so part of this asteroid's, 2006 QV89 sacred contractual work at this time is to bring to Earth a big dose, let's just call it, okay, of the 811 dual frequency, because this is a frequency that this collective has been dealing with for, a long time now. When I say long time, I'm talking several years. Its I am keyword phrase is, I am the illusion of physical reality illumined through spiritual revelation and epiphany. The 811 dual frequency, what it's all about in a nutshell, is assisting humans in seeing the illusion of this physical reality. It's in seeing it past what is considered mainstream, reality. It lets you see the illusion. Now, this 811 frequency, okay, can sometimes be a double-edged sword, because often when people begin waking up, okay, and they start seeing through the illusion, all right, and here I'm going to bring up, just because it'll be faster, what I usually write about this. Okay, first of all, this frequency helps us remember, it helps us see through the illusion, which helps us remember, just like that Cohen states, I am not a physical being on a spiritual path. I'm a spiritual being on a physical path. Now, this double-edged sword that I'm talking about is what happens is when you start waking up, a lot of times when people start waking up and they start seeing through this illusion, they start becoming overwhelmed. A lot of times it awakens or more deeply awakens empathic um, abilities. And so they kind of become overwhelmed when they start seeing through the illusion. They start feeling the immensity of the injustices and all the things like this that, we know are playing out in our world. So those of us who are awakened really need to send out energies to assist. We need to, consciously remember to send out energies to help people, especially the newly awakened, that they don't become overwhelmed. And I know this is a lot of information, like Kira said, but I'm throwing it out. Just sit in it, catch what you can, and, just be in the energy of it. Believe me, it's there when you need it. Okay. Going back to that butterfly medicine, one of the things that it is doing besides that 7-Eleven is bringing energy assistance for aiding directly the clearing of what is known as the 13-4 karmic imbalanced energies within the collective consciousness. That karmic imbalance is about work, being of service to others, and foundation building. The 8-11 is bringing energy assistance, okay, the asteroid and the 8-11, it's also bringing any energy assistance to clear and rebalance the 14-5 karmic imbalance in the collective's energy field. And the 14-5 freedom is 14-5 karmic imbalance energy is about the misuse of freedom. This is the energy that creates issues such as addiction, obsessive compulsive disorders, procrastinations. It's about not responsibly taking advantage of the golden opportunities that come your way. It's about both of those, okay? Karmic imbalanced energies within the collective's field are what keep people, what bind people from waking up and taking on their fair share of the work and the responsibility for creating our collective reality in a positive manner. So now do you see this kind of bigger picture? We've got Jupiter, this Jupiter-Earth-Sun alignment, okay, bringing in these massive amounts of energy to be used for the expansion of consciousness. So we've got butterfly medicine that's being used as a propulsion force, okay, to push people to take on more responsibility. We've got this asteroid, this 8-11 frequency that's showing the way of seeing through all the muck and the mire and past the illusion. And then we've still got the energies of this great galactic alignment that are aligning the heart chakras, okay, across not only in individuals, but across time and space. All right. Kira, anything right now? Because we're just almost finished with the information and almost ready to get to the meditation part.
No, can't think of anything.
Okay. I want to, two more things, think very quickly before we go into meditation. One is I want to give you an I am keyword phrase of a dual frequency that I suggest you use as a mantra for the next whatever period of time, okay, or focusing on the work we're talking about here of being assistance to this collective and up to yourself. And what I will do is I will, you can either write it down right now or I will type it up in the discussion of the event. And I'll even put it on my Facebook page and stuff. But it is the 544 dual frequency. Its I am keyword phrase is, I am the power of metamorphosis. I fearlessly create change and anchor it into physical reality. Now this 544 dual frequency it's about creating change and anchoring it into the physical world, but it's not just ordinary minor change, okay? It's that massive change we're talking about. Here we're talking about a metamorphosis into something well beyond what this current reality is. This is a frequency, this frequency is a powerful agent of change. And it's a frequency that many people are uncomfortable with at times because it does create change on such a massive scale. Some direct points, and if you go back to this Jupiter thing, okay, just remembering that Jupiter rules Sagittarius and to have a focus on politics, religion, and spirituality. And it's also associated with that 60,000 year ago linear time node point I mentioned. This 544 dual frequency can be used in the disintegration and releasing of antiquated beliefs and negative emotions associated with the illusionary human God concept, the emotions of thought and thoughts of hatred, control, and greed, and the acts of war, and that these things create that feed division and discord of our collective present time frame reality. And they can be used for anchoring the knowledge of and the ability to fully comprehend the concept of multidimensionality into our physical reality. Okay, so you can see that 544 dual frequency is a powerful frequency. Let's see, there was that. And now I'm trying, does anyone have a question that they would like to ask? Or Kira, do you have anything before we move into meditation?
Well, you were going to say something about like your experience with Rayanna and Omo the other day, the Discord.
Okay. Yeah, right, okay. What Kira's talking about, these frequencies that we're being influenced by right now, what I've just explained, okay, and explained where they come from and how they're being woven together and what they're for and all of this. Once again, they're massive, okay, that was tongue in cheek, but they are huge, and they are of a frequency plane. We're being led someplace, and once again, I can't give away a whole lot of information here because it's related to the numeric message diary work that we're doing right now. But we're being led, let's just say, to put it simplified, into actually what comes to mind, but it's not technically the correct word, but I'm going to use it because they're saying to in this moment, a different quadrant in our universal system. So we're moving, we're growing, we're expanding as a collective here, bottom line. I've been doing this a long time. It's part of my sacred contract, not only in this, I've been doing it a long time, not only in this lifetime, but in multiple lifetimes and dimensions across time and space. In other words, so all I'm saying about that is it's not an ego thing. It's just saying I'm used to it. It's my norm. Okay. These energies, okay, that are coming in right now can be or cause. That's what they do is they cause us to move forward fast enough. That's this massive Jupiter, consciousness expansion thing. They can allow us, that's what it's here for. But what happens is once we start moving forward and these giant steps that this one offers, there becomes a distance, and I've talked about this before on other programs we've done, there becomes a distance between dimensional realities, frequencies, because it's frequency, Okay, so let me gather myself and try to state this really simplified. Kira gets on to me for not doing that. Third dimensional reality. It's a frequency we know. Okay. We're familiar with, we know how to operate in it, we move through it. As we begin awakening, when we move further and further, and then the collective shifted into what we term the fifth dimensional frequency reality. Well, what had happened is that just means that more and more of us are waking up, and as that happens, we can move further, higher, whatever term you want to use, into higher frequency dimensions. But there comes a point, okay, where the frequency, as you're raising your frequency and you're existing more and more of every day, the time of every physical, day, Earth day, in a higher frequency dimension, it becomes more difficult to interact with the lower frequency dimensions, simply because you just don't resonate there anymore. But we still have to do it. It's a part of our agreement we took on when we came here as humans, okay, for this experience. But there comes a point where the distance is so far that it becomes disharmonious. Okay, if you think about it, you hear a tone, and a third dimensional frequency is one tone, and when you're there, it's fine, it doesn't bother you. But then you go into fifth, sixth, seventh, or beyond dimensional, and I'm just using these things, as in to draw a picture. That's all. And the tone is so far apart, and let's say it's in a different key, and they're discordant. They don't sound good together. They don't feel good together. That's what's happening. I had a day like that. That's what Kira's talking about. It was just because, I babysit my 2-year-old granddaughter. That's very, third dimensional. And I love that, and I'm lucky and all that. But I also, at the same time I'm doing that, there are days that I have to be doing my work. And so I'm existing, straddling the line, if you will, between these two-dimensional realities. And there's a huge frequency distance between them. Well, there was a big jump that day because of what we're under, the influence that we're under. Bottom line, it was difficult, even for me, someone who's very used to it. So if this transpires for you, don't get upset about it. Just, go with it, be a part of it, allow it. I don't know what else to say about that. Kira, anything you would add that I missed or didn't say well?
Well, if you just notice yourself going off the deep end,
Yeah.
you just kind of remember this in the back of your mind that, oh, okay, it's maybe not just me. I'm not really a bad person.
Yeah. It's just being human can be difficult. Okay, so we are getting ready to, with all that stated, I'm looking at the last information that I have, but you know what? We're going to save it for later. It's just a little bit more information about Jupiter, but it's not necessary to know before we move into meditation. So if everyone will get ready, I'm going to check my internet connection and make sure my little device has plenty of juice. I just thought of that. I'm going to get myself situated in my squeaky chair. Okay, and I think I'm going to turn off my fan because it's probably... Okay, sorry about that. I walked away from the computer a moment to turn off the fan to do away with that background hum. So if everyone will just take a deep breath, and let's begin centering ourselves. Breathe in. Deep breath, hold it for just a moment, and exhale and relax. And another deep breath. Bring yourself to center. Continue to breathe and relax. Relax the physical form. Relax the mind. We have gathered here today as a conscious and intentional, temporary group collective conscious mind to do the work of being of assistance to the continued spiritual awakening and consciousness expansion journey of this current collective consciousness of humanity of Earth. I would like for each of you to allow the melting away, the temporary melting away of the physical form for this journey. And to lift your consciousness sphere, you could say, out from within the physical form. There's no need to worry. The physical form is safe. This is just a temporary journey for this most sacred of work. So having done that, I would like for you to visualize yourself and everyone gathered for this work in this group collective conscious mind. I would like for you to visualize now each as an individualized sphere of consciousness, luminous and beautiful, free-floating, almost as if you are seeing bubbles against the wide expanse of this universe gathered together. Would now like for all of us, as the consciousness spheres we are, to gather in a great circle around planet Earth. For that is the focus of our work today, being of assistance to the collective consciousness of humanity of Earth. We are now positioned in a great circle as spheres of consciousness at the inner edge of the magnetosphere of planet Earth. Feel the connection to your spirit kin with you, whether of this planet, whether currently holding human form, or spirit family who has joined us from other dimensions and realities to do this work. And visualize this ring, this beautiful luminous ring of individualized spheres of consciousness encircling planet Earth. Oh, it's beautiful. Thank you. But now, like you to direct your consciousness, your attention, if you will, out into the solar system of which Earth belongs, is a part of. And in the distance, across time and space, first you feel it. Before you see it, you feel it. The great pull of planet Jupiter. The individualized consciousness that has manifested as what is known the planet Jupiter in the solar system, of which Earth is a part. Feel the energy of Jupiter pulling you toward it. Allow yourself to begin the journey of traveling toward Jupiter. We are traveling together as a group collective conscious mind. We are family on a journey with an intentional purpose. And now we can begin to see in the distance Jupiter appearing before the inner vision of our consciousness. We can begin to see the manifest form that is the individualized consciousness known as planet Jupiter. Continue your journey. Maintain your connection to the group collective conscious mind, the individuals that have created this group collective conscious mind we are working within. As we get nearer and nearer to Jupiter, you can now begin to make out what is known on Earth as the great red spot of Jupiter. And it becomes, as you get nearer and nearer, it becomes to be visible in more detail to your inner vision. You can see that this is a counterclockwise spinning secondary creation spin. It is a vortex energy that exists within the individualized consciousness of planet Jupiter. And you can see as we get nearer and nearer that there seems to be an unraveling of this spin occurring. Just the very beginnings. It's not quite as defined. It's not spinning quite as smoothly. Continue moving closer and closer to the great red spot of Jupiter until we stand as a group collective conscious mind right in front of it. And it is massive. It is massive. I want you to feel the energies. I want you to see the visuals. And I want you to understand that this great red spot on Jupiter is a doorway into a great galactic library. We are now going to enter into this great galactic library to retrieve information that will assist not only the individual human that we are consciously manifest now as, but also we are going to access and bring back information that individualized human we are can use to be of assistance in taking on more responsibility for the collective consciousness of humanity as of Earth's continued spiritual awakening process and journey. Begin moving into the library, please, and I will leave you there for a moment's time to retrieve the information and experience this great galactic library on planet Jupiter. I will return for you shortly. I'd like for you to begin preparing for return. Just a few more seconds to finalize the gathering of any needed information. I would like for everyone to now meet all individualized consciousnesses within this temporarily created group collective conscious mind, to meet in the center of the great galactic library. And as the luminous consciousness spheres, I would like for a merging of all spheres into an individual sphere in the center of this great library, in the great hall of this great library. This is a temporary experience, one that is especially beneficial for those currently incarnate as human on earth. Now allow yourself to become one. To the human mind, you can visualize that these are the bubbles spoken of earlier, that are free-floating, luminous, like a human child blowing bubbles, and they all come together and meld, and one great bubble is created. This is the temporary experience I would like for you to be a part of inside the great hall of this great galactic library in Jupiter. Please now enter and meld into the one. Within this experience now, and here I speak most directly to the human consciousnesses participating. You now see, you now experience that the individualized self, what you know as the individualized self, does not lose existence once it merges with the one. It simply expands its knowing, its abilities, its ability to hold and emit the frequency earthlings know as unconditional love, the energy of creation. I am Omohokuka, that known as emerald starlight of Lemuria. Thank you for participating in this experience of oneness. But now ask that everyone reclaim their individualized consciousness within the great hall of the great library of Galactic Library of Jupiter and prepare for return to Earth. Simply begin making your way back the journey across the perceived expansion of time and space from Jupiter, from planet Jupiter to planet Earth. We leave with Jupiter and gift Jupiter with our gratitude and thanks for this experience. And we bring back to Earth that which is necessary for each of us as the individualized consciousness we are to be of greater assistance and take on more responsibility for assisting the collective consciousness of humanity of Earth's continued spiritual awakening process. Please now return to your physical form. And this journey is now completed. Thank you for participating. I'm honored. You may unmute and let me know you're here. If anything you would like to share, I'm going to just for a moment. Please mute one more time just for a moment. For those who will be participating in this meditation in no time, no space by listening to the recording, this would probably be the point you would want to pause the recording, because I'm going to continue recording to allow people to share just a bit of their journey if they like. Okay, now we're back. Okay, go ahead. Who would like to speak? Kira?
I'm just going to sort of exit and listen to that part later, since I do have company here.
Okay, all righty.
But thank you for leading that. That was great. I had
right.
a nice visit to Jupiter. And
Okay.
good, have a good week, everyone. Talk
Yeah,
to you
say
later.
if you need to go, and we'll continue. Okay. Is anyone
Okay.
else?
Did you stop
Okay.
recording?
No, I'm recording, but it's okay.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right. Bye.
Yeah. I gave warning. So is there anyone who'd like to share?
Yes, I would.
Okay. And who is speaking, may I ask?
This is Elaine.
Okay.
I had an image, never mind. I was overwhelmed with the regal power of Jupiter, and that
Right.
I felt like I was being downloaded some red that I need. Just red power, and confidence and
wonderful.
a regalness. That's the word, regalness.
Yeah, I get it. I've got goosebumps every time you say that word.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you. Anyone else? Everyone shy today? I'll see.
Yes. Essence?
Yes.
Okay. So it's Tanya.
Okay.
So I think I downloaded whatever thing, I don't know, I did with my hands. I had the sensation I had to do stuff with my hands. And then just before we came back, I was just tuning to some sound like E.
Okay.
I don't think I saw not a lot of colors, but that was it. I think it was a lot of information, but somehow it appeared as music and whatever thing. I have no idea I did with my hands.
It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Yeah, I love those experiences. Thank you for sharing.
Thank you.
Yes, I'm so glad you were able to make it. I know you're busy, so it's wonderful.
Yeah, but it was a huge expansion, and the group was it was a very, very good energy.
I agree.
So thank you all.
Yes, thank you. Anyone else?
Morning, Essence. It's Sue.
Hello. Okay.
Hi, I'm still returning.
Okay.
Yeah, in the Great Library there, I saw a Stargate, and there were 3 planets aligned just sort of bottom left of that Stargate. I don't know what they were, but that was really quite interesting. And I experienced my high heart chakra and my throat chakra literally started burning in an unpleasant way, in a really, really beautiful way, very warm and comforting. I brought that back with me.
Okay, wonderful. I thank you for sharing that. I really want, because it reminded me, I want to give some just tips for that everyone can use for assisting during this time of these massive expansions. Can I ask you to mute? There's a lot of background noise, so I would appreciate it. I wanted to share real quick. I've shared them on my Facebook and Instagram, but just one, clearing, fully activating and synchronizing the high heart and zeal chakras in the physical form. That's step one. Two, clearing, fully activating, and then synchronizing the high heart, the zeal, the third eye, and the soul star chakras in the physical form. Okay. And then my third point I have here on this, tips for assisting is be you, be responsible, step up and do the work. And then 4 and final is the use of that 554 dual frequency and its I am keyword phrase as a mantra to help you. So, okay. I just wanted to throw that in there before I forgot. So thank you. Anyone else would have anything they'd like to share?
Essence, I'll have to go and I'll
Okay.
have to do it again because I kept falling asleep and
Okay,
it seemed to be a lot. It seemed to be a lot for me. It seemed to be an overload.
right. And I was joking with someone the other day. I have that effect on people, and I know that. Here has always done. That's why she warned you all in the beginning.
Yeah, I understand now.
A lot of information. Just sit in there. But that's wonderful. You did it. It is there. But yeah, if you're physically tired, I think it's probably late in your part of the planet.
Yeah, that's us nearly 10 o'clock now.
Yeah, so it's late there. So yes, do it again. And I'm not sure, just so that everyone knows, I did a different version of the paid version of Zoom. I've got it recording to the cloud. I don't know exactly how I'm going to get it to everyone. I don't know how it works, but I'll figure it out and I'll get it to everyone that wants it.
Oh, that's fabulous. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. So anyone else? No?
I just wanted to check one thing. Is it a 554 frequency or a 544?
544. And like I said, I will post that in the event discussion. And I'll even just go ahead and put it on my Facebook.
Okay, thank you, Essence.
You're welcome, darling. Okay, yeah. Okay, anyone else? No, everybody's quiet? Okay, well, if everyone that wants to share has shared, I think we're going to go ahead and end this meeting. I want to thank everyone who joined today and everyone who will join in no time, no space.
Thank you, Essence.
Thank you. Gratitude.
Yes, I'm honored. Thank you all so much. So,
thank you.
Thank you, Steve. I will see you all next time.
Okay.
All right. Have a great one.
Have a nice night.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Good
Bye.
night.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Bye.